What's up, and welcome back to Opposites Attract Podcast. This is Sonja Ramirez, your girl, and I'm sitting next to
Miguel Ramirez.
What's up, everybody? How was your day?
How was your week?
How is your life?
Going. Gotta have it.
And today,
make sure you guys go to oppositesattractpodcast.com. Share it with the people that you know. When you guys go there, you can watch the podcast there. You can listen to it there. You can follow all of our social media. That's probably the best way to get a hold of us. And when you go to our website, the first thing that's going to pop up is our resource list. And what is our resource list, babe?
Our resource list has a list of audios, books, videos, just things that we have gone to for help, for knowledge regarding marriage, regarding parenting, regarding finances, just all of it. We would love to say that we were just born to be great. No,
it was a big disaster before.
And it still kind of is.
But the things that helped us become less of a disaster are in that resource list.
That's right.
So you guys can download
it.
When you go to our website, it'll pop up. Just give us your name and your email and you can download it for free.
Yes. So, okay, I wasn't going to start this way, but I'm going to start this way because my inner self is telling me to do so.
Okay.
And we just talked about a list of resources that have helped us in some challenges in our life.
Yeah.
And when I look at where we are today, and I'm looking at everything that we've been able to overcome, we've done, and we continue to do better, and gooder, and gooder. No.
And more gooder.
And in the past, when I felt that we weren't doing our best, a lot of times I was comparing us to someone else.
Yeah. And
in life, that's what we all tend to do. And that comparing, and when you go on Facebook.
What is it? Yeah.
And you see your best friend maybe taking vacations on a regular basis. And here you are feeling less than because you're comparing yourself to someone else. And we tend to do that often. And when we do that, it triggers feeling less than. Versus if we just focused on being our authentic self and doing the best that we can do.
No.
As a little girl, and you guys heard me say this over and over again, and I just want to set this straight. You and I would be talking about our upbringing. And what would I always say about how we grew up, how I grew up?
You're poor.
Poor.
Projects.
Right?
Yeah. We're broke.
Boo-hoo. We were broke, right?
Right.
And while I'm going through personal coaching, he's asking me these questions. And I'm talking to him about my childhood and, growing up. And I'm sharing with him that we lived in the projects and I had my own room. And he's like, hold up. You had your own room?
Yeah.
He's like, you had a mattress? Like you had your own room? Yes.
Was your mattress on the floor?
No.
You see? That's another one.
And then I was sharing with him a boohoo story that we didn't have any money one Christmas. And my mom took us to the Salvation Army and I got these brand new shoes and I was so excited. I may have been 9 years old and I was so excited about these brand new shoes that I just got. And I wore them to school and I got teased because they weren't name brand. And I shared with you all the situation with my mom looking for money in between the cushions. And he asked me, he's like, how do you know she was looking for money and money that she did not lose? Maybe she had $10 and she thought she left them in between the sofa cushions. He's like, did you ever know or see the bank account? Or, did you have food in the refrigerator? Did you have? Yeah. And I'm like, yes. And he's like, not telling me that I'm not poor, but helping me to realize
that you're not as poor as you thought you were.
Exactly.
And I think it happened kind of like during this podcast. You remember, like, at a certain time or for a while, I would say something similar too, Mm-hmm. There's like instances of being poor, but there's people that live that way all the time. You know what I mean?
But poor compared to who? Exactly.
That's the other thing, And at a certain point, like once I started kind of looking back at how I grew up, and it's like, yeah, we weren't poor. We weren't rich, right, but we weren't poor.
But I wasn't there. Like you seen it.
Yeah,
you did.
And you remember at a certain point I started telling you, I was like, stop saying that I was poor, because I don't think I was really poor.
Right. But I still felt that 9-year-old little girl that saw her mom looking through the sofa cushions for money, realized that day how poor and broke they were. This is the story that I told myself as a little girl. And that day I made a decision that I was going to be successful, that I was going to do whatever I had to do in order to be successful. And at the age of 9, my definition of success was money. It was having money. It wasn't love. It wasn't family. It wasn't, right? It was all about money. And I even based my career on that because I wanted to be a social worker. Like, that's what I wanted to do. But when I saw what they made, I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. And that's when I decided to get into the legal industry. But ask me if I was happy in the legal industry. No, because I wasn't doing the thing that I wanted to do. It was based on fear. Fear of not having, fear of.
Yeah, not having enough money. So everybody knows lawyers, the legal field, that makes a lot of money.
Right. But it was because I was comparing myself to that kid who was wearing Nikes. Like the trauma, when people think about like trauma, they think that it has to be something big.
Yeah.
When it could be as simple as you getting teased at school for not having.
It's funny. You were saying something. We were talking. It's come up a few times, but you were saying something about like a memory, or we were talking about it yesterday in the car. Do you remember what it was? It started leading back to the Pixar movie Inside Out, like the memories and how.
Yes.
What were we talking about? There was a memory that you had mentioned, I think, or something that I did that may have turned into. Like it's these things that happen to us growing up, or something that it's weird, but for some reason they fucking stick. Yes,
it's a high emotion.
Right.
Yeah, whether it's happy, right? Something great that happened in your life.
And if you guys haven't seen that movie Inside Out from Disney, Pixar, you guys,
it is so good.
If you're an adult and you don't have kids, fucking watch it anyway.
Right.
It's an awesome movie.
Yeah, it is so good.
The way they break down the memories and everything,
yes,
it's freaking nuts. Especially when you start looking at some of this stuff that we're talking about.
Right.
Go ahead.
Because you'll think about, okay, what is a memory that you have of a heightened emotion of joy or happiness?
You know what? It's weird, but I think about it sometimes, but it's one of those pushing where I was pushing and it was running. I didn't run much.
How old were you?
I was little. I can't remember. I don't remember exactly, but okay. I was little, and I don't know if my dad signed me up for something, for some kind of track, like running a marathon, cross country. It was a marathon, but it was for kids,
Okay.
So I was signed up, and I had my little tank top with my number on it, and my dad was like, hey, the night before we got to eat spaghetti because that'll, carb load so you can have energy for the next day or whatever. But I just remember running through Flushing Meadow Park, and at some point I was getting tired, and there was this big ass tree, and I was just kind of like, fucking, let's like keep pushing. And I just kept fucking running. And I don't know why, like there's certain things that just kind of stick like that, you know?
Right. And so after, did you win?
I don't even remember. I don't remember if I won. Probably not. I might have
Because
remembered
a lot
if
of
I
times, yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. It's a heightened emotion.
Yeah.
It's you
Yeah.
winning that race and
Right.
how you felt about it. You
Well,
would remember
I think
everything about that moment.
I probably didn't win because I might have remembered winning, but I know I didn't quit
Okay, there you go.
because that's what I was thinking. Like
And
I wanted
then-
to stop.
Do you remember a moment in your childhood, a memory where you were full of fear?
Oh yeah.
Okay, share.
I mean, there was
the one that automatically comes to you.
when the restaurant got robbed and I was in it.
Share with a little
So
bit about.
we were when I was probably about 9-10 years old, we went to Sizzlers for my birthday. But we weren't able to do it like the weekend of my birthday, so we went a little bit later. A few weeks later, and you know how it is, they start selling Halloween stuff. My birthday's in September, so they start selling Halloween stuff, and we're at Sizzlers eating, and two guys bust in with Halloween masks and shotguns and guns or whatever.
How old were you?
Like 9 or 10.
9 or 10. Okay.
They start screaming for everybody to get on the ground, get on, whatever, and we all get under the table, and yeah.
If you
the
close
place got
your
robbed.
eyes, can you see it?
Yeah.
Can you feel it?
Yeah.
How you felt that day?
I mean, I can't feel it, but I remember what it was like.
Okay.
Right.
So, and a lot of times in those
I remember
moments,
thinking I was going to die. I was like, this is it. This is where it ends. I remember thinking that.
And as little kids, now this is going off, but I'm learning a lot about how we see things as a child. There's no gray, it's black or white. And the story we make up is the story that sticks with us.
Yeah.
Until we start asking questions to find out the truth. But a lot of times we don't want to ask questions because we don't want to relive that moment, especially if it's a negative moment. But a lot of times, as I was saying, when I was gonna go ahead, baby.
No, we were talking about a memory or something, and yesterday we were in the car. Do you remember what it was?
I don't. That's why.
Okay, sorry. I just thought you were gonna go back into it.
No.
But we were kind of talking about, like in that movie Inside Out, like those core memories that for some reason, like you said, the high emotion moments that happen when you're a kid that get just embedded into your head, whether it's good or bad or whatever. In that movie, they have like the green memories, then they have the blue memories, which are sad.
Right.
They have the red ones, I think. Do they have any, like, so these are, you have a shit ton of memories.
Yeah.
But it's the core memories that kind of run who you are.
And she saves. Nope. We're going to have to watch this together as a family.
Yeah, we do. We got to watch it again.
But the core memories are good memories. They are the ones that, the first time you rode a bike and you got it right. And
when she scored a goal playing hockey in the movie with her parents were there and they're all hugging her and picking her up. Yeah.
And sadness.
It's like a family moment.
She did not want sadness, anger, any of those memories never made it to the core. Never.
Yeah. Because joy is one of the little emotions in her head.
Right.
That kind of helps run all the things because you have all these little characters inside your head, the little emotions, and joy is kind of the one that runs the show.
Right.
But sadness, like almost
Fear.
touched one of the good core memories and turned it into a sad memory. And what it was is that the little girl was kind of thinking back at the time when she was playing hockey with her parents or whatever. And I don't know if her dad left or if something happened that like the family wasn't exactly like it was. They moved. They can't play hockey anymore. And that memory, sadness was going to touch it, and it was going to turn from a happy memory to a sad memory now.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Freaking crazy.
But those are the things that we go through, and we live, and we carry these events with us into our adulthood, and we don't realize how it affects us. Because I knew that I had a problem with money. I just didn't understand where that came from. My self-worth, me not knowing my self-worth came from that little boy teasing me and making me feel less than.
Yeah.
You know, it's so crazy. And when I look at our kids today.
So, but what do you think about that? Because I've told you, like, I've had, and we talk a lot about like our weight and our health and all of that. And like I think we were talking about it yesterday in the car too. This came up, but you were saying like that there was a guy at work that made fun of me one day because I was getting fat. And that was like the thing that sparked it for me to like start getting in shape again or whatever. And I was kind of telling you, there we go. Let's make sure we hit crunch right into the microphone.
I'm chewing ice.
We should do that every podcast.
That'd be funny.
People be like turning this shit, turning it off. No.
Some people might like it.
Maybe. They'd be like one of those videos.
Exactly.
Oh shit, we're gonna turn this around. But anyway, we're getting off track. What is that? ASMR or whatever the hell? Anyway, but what I was saying is like, so you were saying like that guy kind of motivated me. But I was telling you for that instance specifically, I was already older. I was in my 30s, and it was like, now I think at that point I've had enough of being out of shape. I knew that I had been in shape for such a long time. I know how to do it, because the other thing is like you also feel like a hypocrite when you're talking to people. It's like, oh yeah, well what you got to do is this. You got to just like, shut up, you fat fuck. Like you don't know anything. You know what I mean? It's like, if you know, you know. And you
That's the military coming out in you, my love.
I'm just saying. But at a certain point, I was just like, I've had enough of fucking living like this and eating like shit and looking like shit and feeling like shit. So I'm going to do something about it. And I did. But there was one time when I was a little kid, and that one it got embedded and it stuck. But I don't look at it as a negative thing. When I was a kid, I can't remember. It must have been similar, maybe like, I don't know, 10 or maybe a little bit older. But my stepmom's sister, Marilyn, she used to call me Pudge. That was just like her nickname because I was chubby.
Yeah.
And I was like,
kind of like gordito.
Yeah. Well, it's like Hispanic family. Hey, gordo, come here. You know? It's not an insult. They tell you because they love you.
Right.
They fucking abuse you because they love you.
We'll talk about that later, okay?
But
free session for you.
But that actually did. I remember that to this day, and I did change from that point. Like I was like, you know what? Maybe I should watch what I'm eating. My dad was always kind of healthy and talking about health and stuff like that. But at that point, I was like, you know what? I am fucking Pudge, you know? And I was a little kid. But the thing is, like, how is that a bad thing?
Did you really think that when you were younger, though? Did it not hurt
it
your feelings?
It bothered me. It bothered me, and it made me change.
And moved some...
For the better.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, we can get deeper into that. But there could be other things that stem from that.
How many people don't have money issues, but they're broke as fuck? There's some people that have money issues, but at least they fucking make money and do something. Like, it's not all bad. Do you know what I mean? Maybe there's some balance. Maybe that, like, there's some shit you got to work out. But sometimes maybe there's benefits to some of the negative shit that happens because you overcompensate for that. Like you. All the shit, the thinking that you were poor drove you to be able to make money for yourself and be independent.
That little girl, and I'm talking about myself.
Do you know what I mean?
She did well for me to a certain extent.
Right. Yeah.
She got me where I am today, but there's different levels, right? I think I was talking to you about this, and this is a different podcast to get into, but there's different levels. So that little girl and everything that she went through got me where I am today. I created the life that I'm living today. Yeah. But I couldn't, but I didn't have the self-worth. I was working from fear.
Right.
Fear of being poor.
And that's probably only going to get you so far.
Exactly. Yeah. Now I want to get to now it's time to get to the next level. And I've been fighting it because the little girl within is fear.
Yeah.
The woman I am today is love. Like I am. Do you understand? So I am working from love, but when it comes to money, self-worth, my own self-worth,
yeah,
I was not loving me. I was loving everybody outside of me. I had compassion for everybody else inside of me, but my self-worth was disconnected.
Yeah.
Because of what happened when I was younger. And now that I'm healing and I'm starting to process and see things for what they are, I realized that when he asked me, well, how do you think poor people are looked upon?
Yeah.
How do you think they're looked upon? I'm like, they're not valued. They're not heard. They're not seen. They're not respected. He's like, so you don't value yourself? You don't, like feel that you're being seen or heard, and you're doing all this to be seen, to be heard. It's so weird how it works. But when he started reading everything to me, I broke down.
Yeah.
I broke down because I knew that I was treating myself less than. And it hurt. I was embarrassed.
Yeah.
But he helped me to see it for myself.
Damn, it's like that. What we were watching, you guys got to check this out. Well, if you're Packer fans or whatever, but we just saw an interview with Aaron Rodgers and this guy, Aubrey Marcus, which we've read a book of his, which was really good. It's called Own the Day, Own Your Life. If you guys want to pick it up on Amazon, it will help us out. Go through our link, click on the support the show tab on our website. But I guess Aaron Rodgers just did ayahuasca somewhere or in Peru or wherever they went to go do it. But it's this tea, or I mean, it's a drug. It's a tea, but you drink it, but it's not like a fun type of thing. Like people don't take it like, let's have a great time and drink this stuff. It's like you drink it when you're trying to work out some things, I guess.
You feel
yeah
something is going on within you. Feel like something, you're not happy. You're at a place and...
Or you need some clarity, because I imagine
Yes.
if you're in a good place and you do it, you probably maybe see some other things. I don't know. But it seems like when you have shit to work out and you take this stuff,
it
reveals all kinds of stuff. And what Aaron Rodgers was talking about was he had plans, expectations to work out this shit and work out that shit. And I got this problem with my family and I got this and that. And he was going to do all that.
Yep.
And when he took it, this thing had other plans for him.
That's right.
And it started showing him pretty much like how he treats himself. And it made him feel how he felt about himself. Like the lowest of the low that is just not worthy of anything.
That's right.
And anybody's love and any of that stuff. And he said it was horrible. But once he went through that, he was like, well, if I'm in this place, like who could love me like this? And then he started thinking about some of the people that he has in his life and some of his friends and some of his family. And he's like, well, even at this point, I know this person would love me and this other person would love me. Even if they saw and they knew and they knew exactly how I thought, they would still love me. He's like, and if they could love me, seeing me this way, then I should be able to love myself. But
Yes.
That's what it all ends up coming back to.
Yes, yes.
And
that's, what I'm going through.
But yeah,
that's part of the process.
You guys check it out because I think it's like an 11-minute clip on YouTube. It was really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And anyways, like with the kids, I think that's definitely a conversation that we want to have with them about comparison.
Oh, yeah.
Don't compare yourself to anyone.
Theodore
Compare
Roosevelt
yourself to you.
has like the most famous quote for comparison. Is comparison is the thief of joy.
Yes.
That's
right.
Yeah, there's so many times that jiu-jitsu teaches you that too. I mean, it's just there's so many lessons. Like you show up same time as somebody else and 6 months later they're a blue belt. It's like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. But the thing is that, I mean, when you've had enough experiences, like I never look at it that way. I'm always fucking happy for people. And it's like fucking awesome. Do it. Show me something. You know what I mean? If you're a wrestler and you got your blue belt in 6 months, show me something. How do I stop you? You know what I mean? And people are so great that they'll show you.
Yep.
But to be jealous, like, oh, why did so-and-so? Or even the same skill level. Yeah. There's guys that maybe we were neck and neck the whole time. And now they're way higher than me. And it's like, I know I haven't been taking it as serious as they have. So how could I'm I'm happy for them.
Right.
Do your thing.
Right.
And even if not, it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. And especially when you look at I'm getting kind of like on a jujitsu thing, but when you look at the big picture of it, if you're going to practice something like that for your whole life, what does a stripe matter? Who gives a shit? Mm-hmm. At a certain point, you'll get your black belt. And then what? Is it over? Because if you're really into it, it's still not over.
Yeah, but see that, and that's the thing. The people that are feeling that way have some unhealed trauma.
It's not the comparison.
Something happened that made them feel less than.
Right.
And that's where all that is stemming from. But so much of us, we don't question the pain that we're feeling. What is that pain point? What is this about? Why am I feeling this way? And with Joey and with Audrey playing softball, she's doing so well. And she has this competitive streak in her.
Yeah.
Which
she's learned it. Yeah.
Which,
she's picked it up.
I love. And I haven't had that conversation with her. When she gets down on herself, like, who are you comparing yourself to? Or Joey, when we're working with him and he's like, I'm just dumb. And I'm like, it's like, compared to who? Where are you getting this from?
Yeah.
But getting them to realize that as long as they're giving it 100% and they're being authentic and true to themselves,
it's the effort that matters.
It doesn't matter what the person to the right is doing. It doesn't matter what the person to the left is doing.
Yeah.
As long as you're staying in your lane and doing what you got to do, nothing else matters.
Dude, and the more you look at everybody else's shit, the less you're focused on your own.
Yes. And that's where gratitude comes into play. Yeah. Right? Like just being grateful for where you are.
Yeah. Enjoying the process.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Audrey, our poor baby, not poor baby. She's had 2 games and we've been wanting to see her whack the ball out.
Yeah. You guys know she's been into softball hardcore these last few months. Last year, she played her first year in junior high, and now she's playing her second year, but she did camp this year, and now she did like another little mini camp.
Yeah, we're
looking at club teams, and she's kicking ass.
She's been practicing, and
we've been
club
excited.
Teams, and
we've been excited to go watch her
excited for
knock some balls out of the park.
Yeah. And
but, go ahead, baby.
So the first game, she gets up to bat, and she ends up getting hit in the arm, so she ends up getting walked.
Yeah.
Right?
And then the second game, she gets freaking hit in the helmet. She takes a fucking ball right in the helmet.
But, this little girl is so tough. This young lady.
Oh, like nothing happened.
Is so tough. Like the coach, she starts running, because they're walking her. But she's running because she's my little hustler, man. She's running to first base. And he's like, no, Audrey, walk. Like you just got hit in the head. You just got hit on your helmet. Walk.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, she hustles.
But she stole a base.
A picture perfect steal too.
Yes. Slid
in the second.
Stole and slid.
Yeah.
I mean, it was beautiful.
Yeah, it was cool.
And her coach.
He's like yelling from the dugout or from the side there. Yeah.
And the person next to me was like, man, that was a perfect play.
Yeah.
I'm like, yep, that's my daughter.
Yeah, that was awesome.
But even when, and this is what's another thing that is so important, like we're cheering, on the benches and, when they're doing good, we're cheering, we're happy for them. But you know what?
What?
When they're not, when they don't win or they don't hit that ball,
yeah,
you understand? It's still important to cheer for them.
Yeah. Well, that's, I was telling you that, so Audrey had a little bit of a sleepover with some of the girls from the softball team. They all got together yesterday. And today I went to go pick her up. And when I went to pick her up and we were coming home, I was just kind of giving her a talk a little bit about softball and school and everything that she's doing, because she's just kicking ass with everything. Like she is just so focused. She works hard in softball. And she also makes sure that she works hard in school so that she can do the things that she wants to do for softball. And, she's been doing good with her room, keeping her room clean and just like setting her alarms and everything.
She's so amazing.
And I just kind of wanted to have a talk with her. But before I tell you guys what I told her, make sure you go to oppositesattractpodcast.com. Share it with the people that you know. When you guys go there, you'll be able to watch the podcast there. You can listen to it there. You can follow all of our social media there. And you also see ways to support the show by clicking the Support the Show tab. When you click on that, it'll take you to our Amazon link. When you're on Amazon, you can also check out our merch, which we don't have a lot of, but we have some baseball t-shirts like this with a logo on, with our logo on it, a couple t-shirts, pop sockets, phone cases.
All that good
Here's
stuff.
a phone case right here like that. And yeah, you guys can find it all on Amazon. And whenever you shop through Amazon and you click on our link and check out that way, it'll help out the show. We'll get a little kickback whenever you guys buy anything. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it'll help us out. And also, when you click on the Support the Show tab, you'll see a link to Trust Inc. And Trust Inc. is?
We are a nationwide mobile notary and signing agency. So if you're in the process of selling, refinancing, or purchasing a home, you can request Trust Inc. to be your signing agency.
Yep. And you can go to Trust Inc. directly by going to trustinkusa.com. And we're also affiliates with Pinwheel, which is the best smartphone available out there for kids. It has GPS tracking. It has call logs, text message logs. You have to approve all the contacts so you know exactly who your kids are talking to. You approve all the apps that go onto the phone, which also means that the phone can grow with the kid.
Yes.
You can put kid apps on there. They have like the kid Spotify, but you know, like once the kids get a little bit older, at like Audrey's age, at 13, she doesn't want to be listening to kids Spotify. Right. And we know she knows the curse words and all that kind of stuff. So it's like, if you're cool with your kid listening to the regular Spotify, regular Amazon Music and that stuff, you have some options so that the phone can grow with them too. If you guys, is there something you want to jump in?
Yeah. So what Pinwheel is, if you are thinking of getting your kid a phone, but you're unsure because of social media and just feeling a bit of anxiety getting them a phone,
well,
because
shit, if you've ever not been able to put your phone down because of how addictive it is,
there you go.
You know exactly what we're talking about.
This is the phone that you want. This is the starter phone. This is the phone that you want to get them.
Because the thing is also
peace of mind.
The way not to handle it is just don't get them a phone. I know social media is bad. I know all that shit's addictive. So they're not getting a phone until they turn 18 or some shit. Like, no, our job is to teach them as they grow. And this is a great way to introduce them to a phone and technology and the responsibility of having it without all the bad shit that comes with a regular cell phone. And if you guys want 10% off of a Pinwheel phone, you can go to pinwheel.com and use promo code OAPTEN, all together, all in caps.
Yes, yes. And if you guys would like to buy us a coffee or maybe an alcoholic beverage, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/oppositepod. Also, if you would like to leave a comment, okay, maybe you've learned some things, whether it's parenting, marriage, finances, whatever it is. Maybe you want to leave a suggestion. You guys can give us a call. We can play the call live. You can be anonymous or not. It's all up to you. But the number to call is
480-331-9846.
There you go.
There you go. So, anything else? Feels like I was forgetting something. Buy me a coffee.
I already did.
We did that, right? Mm-hmm. All right. Buy us a coffee.
Moving forward.
Buymeacoffee.com/oppositepod. All right. So I went to go pick her up after the sleepover, the softball sleepover. And I've just kind of been thinking about, because I also had a talk with Joey, which I'll tell you guys about. It was very similar. It's kind of similar for both of them, just because I thought they need to hear this stuff sometimes, and it's not once, it's over and over again. But I see how hard she works. And I imagine that when you work that fucking hard, you probably have some expectations. You know what I mean? Like, I expect to do certain things because I've been working so fucking hard at this. Right. And that doesn't fucking, you guys know how life is. This shit doesn't always work out according to plan. And sometimes you get let down. Things don't go the way you wanted them to. And I just told her, I was like, look, you're working super hard. I'm super proud of everything that you're doing. You're kicking ass in school, in softball, in everything, in the house. Like, you're doing great. And the things that you could use a little bit of help with, I think doing really well in these things are going to eventually just kind of start bleeding over into the other things. I was like, but I'm also noticing that you have this attitude for, like, you want to do things right. You want to work hard, and I get it. And it's great. But if you make a mistake, or if you lose, or if something happens that's not exactly the way you thought more than anything, make a mistake or, because everybody makes mistakes.
Right.
And I just told her, I was like, when you do, don't feel so bad. I was like, everybody makes mistakes.
Right.
Things happen to everybody. I know you want to try to be perfect, but you'll never get there.
Right.
Because nobody's perfect. So you can't be so hard on yourself.
I also think that it's important too with that. And you and I, we talk about this all the time. We talk a lot, even outside of the
we
podcast.
have a podcast. In case you guys didn't know.
Even outside of the podcast.
Yeah, we do.
It's not like we ignore each other all week and be like, oh, hey.
This is the hour. Like, what you got?
What you got
to say to me?
But to be able, I forgot what I was going to say. You were talking about getting them to
making mistakes. Like everybody makes mistakes.
Oh, to get them to understand that we as parents are not perfect.
Yeah.
And being able to relate to them and be like, you know what, baby? I remember at your age. And I remember when and then you share with them something that happened where it made you feel less than, or you made a mistake, you lost a game for the team because you did A, B, and C. Like, it's getting them to understand that you two are human. You are a parent, but you're also human, and you've made those similar mistakes, like with you and Joey, right? Joey is so hard on himself.
Yeah.
And he at times could be temperamental and this and this and that. And it's like, you are his idol. You are his mentor. He looks up to you. You are everything to him.
I think that's something we need to remember more, is that they are looking up to us. Like, I think a lot of times we get so busy doing our shit that we forget that they look at us like that.
That's right. And I wrote both of them a letter.
Ugh.
And I posted it. Joey's is right above his bed so that he reads it every chance he gets. Like, that's what he's going to be looking at before he goes to bed, And it's telling him that there's nothing that he has to do to make me love him.
Yeah.
There's nothing that he doesn't have to be the best at jiu-jitsu. He doesn't have to get the best grades, no matter what. I love him, and that I appreciate him just being alive, just being my son.
Yeah. I was telling you that I was telling Joey the same thing. I told both of them, Audrey and Joey. After I got done telling Audrey about making mistakes and stuff like that, I told her the same thing. I was like, look, if you were the worst softball player ever, or the worst student ever, or whatever, I wouldn't care. I would still love you. I don't love you because you're great at softball, or because you work hard, or because you do your homework, or you get good grades. Like, I love you because of the person that you are. I love you because you're my daughter. Yeah, I just love you. That's it. And I told Joey the same thing. I was like, dude, you could lose the tournament. You could suck at jiu-jitsu. You could be horrible. Like, maybe it doesn't matter. I love you no matter what.
I feel that that's the most important thing that we can do as parents, because they have so much on their shoulders as well. When you think about school, when you think about everything that they're involved in, and the negative thoughts that they have, the things that they tell themselves, and helping them to realize their self-worth, right? Yeah. Like, I don't want my daughter being 45 years old being, oh my God, I've been so horrible to myself.
Yeah. And the other thing that I told Joey too was that the reason that him and Audrey, the reason that we're so hard on them about certain things, like about school and jiu-jitsu, part of it is because we know what they're capable of doing, and because we know that these things are good for them and good to help them grow for their life.
Yes.
Yes. That's the only reason that we want them to be good at these things. But it's not that you have to be good at these things in order for me to love you.
Right.
We just think they'll help.
Right.
So you were talking about making mistakes a minute ago, or I was talking about making mistakes, and you were saying like about giving examples of making mistakes.
Yes.
And I was telling you that I think it was about a week ago or something. Audrey and I went to the store. Can't remember what we were picking up, but we stopped at another store, and it just kind of came up. And she asked me, We were talking about fighter jets or something. And she asked me about the military. She's like, hey, Dad, what, I don't know if she asked, like, how come I didn't stay in the military or something, whatever. But it came up that it's like, what happened? And I was like, well, I got kicked out. And she was like, what do you mean? And she's 13. Like, she's heard that I've been in the military like her whole life.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, I got kicked out. And she's like, what happened? And I was like, well, I had made some mistakes. And then I went and I was driving one time and I was drunk and I got arrested. I was like, I got stopped and I got arrested. And the military was pretty upset because when you're in the military, it's not just a job. You also represent the military. And they decided that they didn't want me in the military anymore and they kicked me out. And she was like, oh. And I don't remember exactly. Well, I did tell her that at that time, I was like, it still is. It's one of the worst things, one of the things that you feel like you don't have good feelings about it because I didn't leave the way I wanted to leave, But I told her at the same time, I don't regret anything because if I didn't, I might still be in today. I'd be close to retiring. I'd be retired. Actually, I'd be over 20 years right now. And if that happened, I wouldn't have been with your mom. You guys
we would have never
here.
met. Right.
I mean, I probably would have been gone a few months later to Korea or something else, and that would have been the end of it. So life would have been completely different. I was like, and sometimes that's just how it goes. Yeah, that sucked. It was horrible for me in my life at that time. I didn't know what I was going to do. I felt like shit.
Right.
But sometimes life is what it is, like I've been saying, and it worked out for the better.
Like,
but it was a mistake. I had to fucking deal with it. And I have to live with it. You just have to fucking live with it.
But was it a mistake? It's just, you never know.
No, I'll say it was a mistake. That's not a good thing to do.
Right? Because when I look back at my upbringing, the things that I had gone through, all the mistakes I've made me the woman that I am today. Everything was supposed to happen the way it happened. That's how I feel. Yeah. I don't feel that there are any accidents. There are lessons learned, right? There's so many things that we have to grow through and go through in order to get to where we are. And some of us don't take the challenge on. We don't take the challenge on, and therefore we stay stuck until the pain gets so bad that we decide to do something different.
Yeah.
Our kids, I am so grateful because they have taught me so much about myself. I wrote this letter to Audrey. I'm not going to read it all, but I want to read just a portion of it because I realized that I was parenting her from fear. And it broke me when I realized this. I'm home meditating, self-processing, thinking about all the coaching, thinking about everything, thinking about my life. And, the first letter says, Audrey, I am so amazed by you. When I became a mommy, I was so worried because I was not sure how to be a mommy. I read so many books about how to be a parent. I didn't want to mess this up. I did everything I could to help to make it be perfect. I read books that said, if I played classical music, that would help brain development and all this good stuff, right? And even when she was born, to help her fall asleep, she would fall asleep to classical music.
Yeah.
And then when she was when she was born, she was not able to watch any shows that were not educational shows. I was so focused on her being smart because I felt that I was not.
Yeah. Yeah. Damn. That's crazy.
She was not able to watch SpongeBob. I had my poor baby.
Because you're like, he's an idiot.
Listen, I had my poor baby. And I don't say, okay. So I had her homeschooled at the age of 3. Do you remember that? I would have this girl, Veronica, come over. Yep. She was learning through painting and all this other stuff. It's all good stuff.
But it was all from fear.
because I didn't feel I was smart enough. I wanted her to be smart. I had her watching My Baby Can Read, which was a program to help her learn to read at an early age. Do you remember that?
Yeah. It was either that or Baby Einstein.
Yep. It's so crazy how long it took me to realize I was running from myself while raising you. It took me over 4 decades to realize how amazing I am. It took me 4 decades to realize that I had more compassion and love for others than what I had for myself. I realized that all my negative thoughts were affecting me and not allowing me to love you for you. I am so sorry. And it's a 2-page letter.
I need to do that too.
I placed it at the footboard of her bed. I started going through her room. What got me to write this letter, you guys, is that I decided to do some laundry for her because she's been so busy, right? And I've been home these days taking care of me and spending this time with my family.
And taking care of us.
Yep. Dinner, just taking care of the house.
Thank you, babe.
You're welcome. And taking in, oh my God, what we've been able to create. I'm going into her room and I see her whiteboard. And her whiteboard has a calendar of her menu of what she's going to make for lunch Monday through Friday for herself. And I saw that and I broke down in tears because that is, I want to be that. I want to be that organized. I was so fearful of her being a mess because I feel that I'm a mess.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I'm like, Sonja, what are you so fucking worried about? Like, you and Miguel are doing such an amazing job raising these kids.
Yeah.
And then I go onto her dresser and I see these cards, index cards.
Yeah.
And she has workouts Monday through Friday.
For what she wants to do.
For what she wants to do.
And she does it. We've been getting out there doing them. Yeah.
And I see this and I'm just like, wow. It helped me to see how amazing she is and how great we're doing. Because as parents, you're always questioning it.
Yeah.
Always questioning it. And then after I go, straighten out her room, take her sheets, I'm washing everything, I go to Joey's room. And I'm looking around and I'm taking in my son. His creative little self and all the cute things he has in his room. He has some man hanging from like string. A Lego man with fishing string and all his stuffies and all his crystals and minerals and how he has them organized. And I sit back and I take in everything I'm seeing. And I'm amazed. And I decide, mommy's creative too. So I go and I get fishing string and I hang his airplane from his ceiling, from his fan, and a little Lego man hanging from the airplane. And I go and I decorate his bed for him and I'm filled with so much love and joy and gratitude because we are doing well. We are doing well. Just all the hard work, the dedication, all the energy when we feel that we have no more energy within and we're questioning if we're doing the right thing. Just take a look. Yeah. I haven't been in Audrey's room, like really in it, right? Because that's her private space.
Yeah. And we like to,
but I decided, so normally if I go in there and talk with her, because I love doing that, I'll lay on her bed next to her with her.
Yeah.
But I'm not taking in like her.
Yeah, we're just kind of in there and out.
Right. And their rooms are who they are. You understand? Like you'll
that's their private space.
Yeah.
That's where we have our hooks.
All Shut up. You'll see. Some people aren't going to get that.
You got to go back and figure out which podcast we talked about it in.
Hooks in our silly. No.
Why would they have hooks in there?
No, right. But it's like being present, being aware, being awake.
That's our safe space.
Take a trip.
Right.
Like just take a trip. You may find some things that you don't want to find
shit.
depending on their age.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but hey, you got to think about what were you doing at that age? You know what I'm saying? It's like, what were you doing at that age?
Yeah.
You know, and then I found, you know, something else that was, you know, her private deal, her private thing. And I thought it was just a paper. I was going to toss it. And then I decided, you better not do that. This isn't your room.
Right.
Because it was folded. So I opened it. You know, it wasn't like a page, like a letter page. It was like half. So it didn't look like it was a letter. It didn't seem like
it was anything, yeah.
But that there made me proud too. That there made me super proud.
Because it was
I felt her pain.
It was something that she was like
going through. It was something she was getting out. And when she realized, when she came home and she saw her room, she loved her letter. It made her laugh because I said something funny on there.
Yeah.
And I heard her giggle, and that's when I knew she was reading it.
I got to go read Joey's.
Oh yeah, you haven't read Joey's. And afterwards, she's like, "Mom, I'm gonna burn that letter." And I got to tell her.
The one that you found, not your letter.
I got to tell her, no, the one that I found. And I got to tell her because she got me when I wasn't expecting her, because I just left it exactly where it was. But she just figured, oh, my mom read this because she cleaned my room. You understand?
Right, yeah.
And I didn't know how to respond when she told me that. So I'm like, what letter? Which was wrong. I need to let her know, hey, baby, I just wanted you to know. You know what? I did see that letter. And I'm proud of you. Like, I got to tell her. I'm like, man, I'm so proud of you. But she did tell me, she's like, yeah, I'm going to burn that letter. And I'm like, what letter?
Yeah.
You know, but I got to let her know I did see it and that I'm so proud of her. But this is the thing, like I've been telling you, it's so, listen, how many times have I told you I'm proud of you?
You've told me quite a bit.
You know, though, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
And I see your greatness and I see the amazing man that's sitting next to me. I see it. And I feel it with every part of my being. But I don't think you see it. I don't think you know it. Because I wrote you a letter too.
Yeah. I was telling you, I read the letter that you wrote for me. And I do see a lot of the things. I don't think like I'm a...
Baby, it's not about...
But I do notice that like when there were certain things that I was reading, but while I'm reading it, it's automatically bringing up negative things. Like, you're a great dad, or you're a great this, or you're a great dad, or whatever. And it's like, I'm thinking of the other side of it. You know what I mean? Oh, you're fucking angry all the time. Or, you know, it's like you have no patience and this and that. And it's like, well.
That's what he's telling himself. That's not what I wrote in the letter.
No. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, but I noticed it in the moment while I was reading the letter. I was like, you're reading a letter that is nothing but good stuff. But in your head, you're thinking of negative stuff. It's just shit that you realize for yourself. Like, you know?
None of it is bluff to make you feel good. But it's how I feel and how I see you.
So like a great example is parenting. Like you wrote some things, you wrote things in the letter that are true. But there are also other things that are true. And they're not good things. You know what I mean?
Yes, but you are working on those things.
But it's knowing that those things were true or still are somewhat true that helps motivate you to keep working on it and get better at it. Because the not having patience, remembering about how I would make the kids feel. Like when you say you're so nurturing and loving, I think about how I was impatient and I would yell and make them feel like shit.
Versus the times when you would fall asleep
when I was nurturing and
having them on your chest and, hey, baby, it's okay. You were so nurturing.
I was.
More so than me.
Yeah.
More so than me.
But it's the thoughts it's the negative thoughts that help me stay more in line. So
you're based more on.
I guess I don't know.
I gotta figure. Okay.
I think maybe it's a little bit of both. I don't know. But
because imagine
like
if you were to work it from a positive aspect versus a negative aspect. Because I was working in fear. I was working from fear.
You know what? And now you start now you start talking about this, and I was just talking to Joey about him having a negative attitude about certain things. But I don't know.
Listen.
Because I have that, like, okay, you're not great.
Yeah.
So fucking get to work. Get to work on it. And you're going to get
There's
better.
Something.
But it's not that I don't think that I can't I can't learn patience. But I need to be reminded sometimes that you need fucking patience.
But it's been a constant struggle.
It has been.
A constant struggle. There's something there, and I'm too close. I can't be your coach or therapist. I'm too close. But there's something within that you're just not seeing. Kind of like with me with money.
Maybe, yeah.
I had no idea I was working from fear. I had no idea that I was sabotaging. I kind of felt it, but I couldn't pinpoint what the hell that was until Coach Steve helped me to see it.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, now that I feel I'm starting to, right? I call it the onion. That's the way my analogy is, like the layers of the onion. The more you peel back the layers, the more you learn, the more you're going to cry, the more you're going to.
Whenever you talk about that, I think of like those blooming onions that you dip into the.
Yep. And then you get to the core of the issue.
Yeah.
And you're like, holy shit.
That's what it was.
Right? Holy shit. And then now that you've been able to identify that, and you released it, you forgived yourself, you did what you had to do, and I swear to you, it's like it's gone. It's gone. Like I am filled with so much love for myself, and I know that it's weird. How does that go away just like over 2 weeks? How does that go away? It's when you make the decision to let it go. When you're angry, right?
Yeah, you can decide.
You can hold on to anger. Or you could decide, you know what? It's not a big deal. And you freaking release it and you let it go and you're fine and it's over.
Yeah, I've done that before.
But you got to recognize.
And you have to remember that you can do that.
Yeah, but you got to also recognize the issue. And if you're not recognizing, you're fighting against it and you're fighting against it like I was. It's the younger self and the adult you and you're fighting it because you're trying to not be this. You're trying to be this. And then once this is realized and it's opened, it's released and now you're whole.
Yeah.
It's like magic.
It's accepting what is. Is that what you're talking about?
No, because you have this person,
it's
this little being. It's seeing the issue first.
Yeah.
It's recognizing it. And then processing, healing, forgiving. You got to, right? It's not, you don't pretend like it never happened.
Yeah.
And then you make the decision, okay, I'm done with her. I love this little girl, but she's good now. She's being released. And now I get to live to my full potential.
Yeah.
It's like it's so crazy because you don't even see it. You don't even see it. You're unaware. You feel it. You feel like you're working on becoming patient, right? You're working on your temper, but it's like a fight. It's like a tug of war constantly. It was a tug of war within myself.
Yeah.
Because the little girl was pulling this way. The adult me was pulling this way.
And you were fighting against it. Is that what they were talking about in that Aaron Rodgers interview?
Yes. That's why I'm like, that's exactly what I'm going through.
In the Aaron Rodgers interview that we were talking about earlier in the podcast, they were talking about just like how humans, or maybe men, or maybe it's just humans. Like when we come up against something, it's like you have to fight it. Fight. Like, no. That's
versus giving in. Mm-hmm.
Versus accepting what it is, versus giving in. Learning. It's like, no, we're going to fight it, you know?
And then let that baby go. And it's gone.
I don't know.
It's exactly what Aaron Rodgers was saying.
It's crazy.
It is.
Dude's turning into a huge hippie.
Like, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, a lot of the stuff, I mean, it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. Man.
But I realized I was raising my babies.
You're parenting from fear.
So much fighting myself.
I think
I don't want them to be like me. I don't want them to not have the confidence. I don't want them. So here I am, not loving them for who they are because I'm so scared of them turning out to be like me. I wasn't loving me. I didn't see my greatness. I didn't see everything that I've done to get to where I am today. Within, like, my true self.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Crazy.
And then once I saw it, I realized that I was putting this on my kids. I got pregnant at the age of 16. I do not want my kids to get pregnant at the age of 16. That's just an analogy, right? Someone who maybe got pregnant. No, I'm saying like someone who got pregnant at that age. What is their biggest fear for their daughter?
Oh, yeah. Getting pregnant early.
Yeah.
Getting pregnant young, yeah.
I'm struggling. I was struggling. I didn't have the money.
You don't want them to struggle.
What's the biggest fear for your kid?
Right.
So what do? It's all about school. You don't get straight A's, you're getting punished.
Yeah.
Because you were going to be way more than me.
Yeah.
And the kids are having to live this.
They're fucking dealing with all our trauma.
They don't Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's like you're blind to it. You don't see it. It's like I'm doing good by my kids. I'm doing well, and you are.
And you are.
But they are not you. They are part of you. They are their own little beings. Right?
Yeah.
They're innocent. They know no better. Like say when they're little, right? When they're tiny. They're so full of life. They're so full of joy until somebody tells them different. Or they start comparing themselves to somebody else.
I mean, we've talked about it before with kids. Like when they're young, it's like anything is an option or a possibility. Like you could do anything. You could be anything. Can you fly? Fuck yeah, I can fly. I can fly. But
there they go off the roof and then break a leg. But they tried. No.
But they think that anything is possible. Yes. But little by little, they start getting fucking told, no, you can't do that. Can't do that.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
That was me as an adult because the little girl was still holding on.
Yeah.
I was still this little girl was still living within me and bringing all that fear into my life, into my adult life. And of course, nobody's going to know what I'm going through because I'm embarrassed and I'm ashamed and you understand? So these are my secrets. These are my darkest secrets.
Yeah.
Not even you knew that I was lacking self-worth. Not even you knew that I didn't value myself or love myself. Could you see that? Did you know that?
No, I don't think I did.
Nobody. Because those are the things that I was holding within because I was so embarrassed to share them. That's why they say vulnerability is not a weakness.
Yeah.
It's a strength. Because me speaking my truth is going to help somebody to speak theirs.
Yeah.
You know?
It's awesome, babe. Yeah, it's good. Before we get out of here, there's a couple things that I wanted to talk about. One of them, I've mentioned this like weeks ago on a podcast. And if you're looking for solutions for something, for a problem that you're working on, for something that you can't figure out, and maybe some of that stuff has to do with parenting or whatever. But I remember that talking to you about a friend of mine, an engineer that I work with, that shared a trick to like solve difficult problems. And he said that, let me see if I can find it. He was talking about right before you go to fall asleep, there's something that's happening inside your brain that helps. Your brain is going through like a certain phase or something while you're starting to fall asleep that will help you figure out things that you wouldn't be able to normally figure out, like when you're just completely awake. And
oh yeah, that's right. You were talking to me about this.
Yeah, let me see if falling asleep. And what he was saying is that there's this trick that engineers do. I don't know how true it is. You guys have to look it up. But where they would balance like a pen or a pencil on their finger and they would focus on it like intently. Like they're just looking at it. But it's almost like they're like right when they're going to fall asleep. They're like falling asleep and they're trying to balance this pencil. and then they wait, and when they fall asleep and the pencil hits the table, it wakes them back up. And a lot of times at that moment, like right at that moment of starting to fall asleep, they'll come up with certain answers. That's why a lot of times people say like to keep a notebook next to your bed or something, so that when you wake up from a dream or something, you can write down whatever you thought, because if you don't do it right then, you're going to forget. But a lot of people can figure out certain things. You guys can look into it, because there's actually some science behind like what the hell is happening in your head when you're starting to fall asleep. Pretty freaking interesting. But he told me like, yeah, they would balance a pencil, and when the pencil would hit the table, it would wake them back up, and then they would try to solve whatever was going on before that.
Interesting.
Pretty crazy, huh?
Yes, yes.
And the other thing that I wanted to mention is we had been talking about having a guest on our podcast.
Yes.
And last time it didn't work. We were gonna record. We actually started recording the episode, and we had some technical difficulties. It didn't work out exactly how it was my fault. I didn't know Zoom had updated their freaking terms of service, but it didn't work out. So we weren't able to record. We'll figure out when we can do it, and when we do, we'll let you guys know. But that's kind of what happened with that one. That's why.
Oh, yes. I'm glad you brought that up, because I kind of forgot.
Because we just fucking just kept on moving.
I know.
We're like, all right. I mean, that's what we do. Like, shit doesn't work out. Let's moving on. Moving forward.
Right.
So, yeah. Anything else before we get out of here, babe?
No, it's good.
No, I think it was fun. Yeah, that is, fuck, man. Parenting.
It's life.
Parenting from fear.
Man.
Is just.
Jeez.
You don't even realize that you're doing it.
Mm-mm.
You know, and if I really think about it too, like I'm sure there's things growing up that have to do with money, that have to do with hard work, that have to do with, you know, because I've told you, like, that is just something that was embedded in us, was working hard. My dad worked hard his whole life. My grandmother worked hard. My grandfather, everybody. Like, maybe that's something. I don't know. But it's just parenting from fear and from the way things and events that happened to us.
Really quick. So I'm glad that we together are working out all our junk, cleaning our mess up, because this is passed on generational trauma. And as you and I are working through it, we can fix it. We can heal it. Like with the kids, if there's anything that we've caused already, you know, that's what the I'm sorry, the letter was for.
Even just thinking about how we've been doing things, like it took us, I mean, Legal Shield and what we learned in that network marketing company was like the catalyst or whatever.
Yeah, because they introduced us to personal development.
Just working on yourself, figuring
self-help.
Shit out for yourself. Yes. You can find the answer. No victim shit. Like, we can do it.
Right.
We have it all within us. And I've always kind of felt that, but they fucking pushed it. They encouraged it. They're like, you can find the answer. And we really, we took that in, right?
Yes.
And with our kids, we're teaching them that. And we're also, it's like, I mean, it's everything compounded, you know? So we're going to be helping them through their stuff way sooner and trying to fix our fuck ups.
Right.
Way sooner than, or instead of them having to try to figure it all out on their own.
Right.
You know?
And they're not fuck ups.
No,
they're
fuck
lessons.
Ups. It's
I know.
I'm like,
but they're lessons.
No.
Listen, if you don't mess up, you're never gonna learn anything, right?
Yeah. I still look at it as a fuck up when they're like blinking because you fucking traumatized them. Like, hey, what is going on? What did you do? And they're like, oh my God. You know? That's a fuck up. Why does your kid blink so much? Why is he always fucking skittish?
Oh my God. And with that,
make sure you guys go to oppositesattractpodcast.com. Share it with the people that you know. Thank you for being with us. Yes. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. And thank you for watching Opposites Attract Podcast,
where we get better
together. Bye.